Hey, yo, what's up, my human friends and non-humans, if you're watching this? Little Cowboys updates for you today, and the first one is quite exciting, at least according to me. Jerry Jones, the other day, what was that, yesterday on 105.3 The Fan, said that Terence Steele was going to be the starter at right tackle for the Cowboys on Sunday. Not so fast, my friend. Mike McCarthy just finished his press conference, and he said Terence Steele is one of the options at right tackle, but says they're going to work through a lot of different combinations this week, so don't give up hope yet. We are not 100% locked in to Terence Steele versus Joey Bosa. And I don't like to ever just constantly kick players in the junk, because what's the point? That's not fun. I hope everybody does great and everybody has a wonderful life. But over the course of the offseason, we're hearing about all these improvements that Terence Steele made in the weight room and, as Mike McCarthy said, in every aspect of the game. But we were also at camp, and we also watched the preseason where Terence Steele continued to struggle. So if he is the Cowboys' right tackle against Joey Bosa and the Chargers on Sunday, he'll get a lot of help, whether it's from a tight end, whether it's from Zeke, or whatever. What I hate about even that is ask any offensive tackle if they like when a running back is chipping a defensive end. And the vast majority of them are going to tell you no. Because more often than not, you're going to hit the end and knock me off my spot, or you're going to nudge into me, and you would just much rather not have to have constant help at a position. And so, encouraged today by hearing Mike McCarthy, he did not commit to the fact that Terence Steele is your right tackle this week. So maybe it could be Zack Martin, but we shall see as the week goes on. Now, a couple other things I want to get to today. One includes, how do you cover the Los Angeles Chargers wide receivers if you're the Cowboys, which to me is an incredibly interesting conversation. But first, I might have to fight Brian Broaddus and Gavin Dawson today. They always say Mike McCarthy's kind of lazy and just shows up and just happy to be here. The more I listen to his press conferences, I think in every single one, I hear evidence that the dude knows what the hell he's talking about and he knows what the hell he's doing. Maybe it makes me a blind homer, but between all the different things I've heard him asked about and the detail that I hear him give, Mike McCarthy is working. The dude is locked in, and I think he's doing what I want my head coach to do. Let your offensive coordinator be your offensive coordinator, but when it comes to overarching things that are important, have the pulse of it. When it comes to going against Brandon Staley and talking about what that defense looks like and how he was like, well, you can't really worry about what the Rams did because that was him trying to find individual matchups for Aaron Donald, etc. Now you got to figure out, okay, what is he doing individual assignment-wise with guys like Joey Bosa? Then he's talking about when they're running RPOs, when the Cowboys are running RPOs, which unblocked defender are they scheming up? And the dude is just bam, 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 bam. He has the answers to your questions that Jason Garrett would never even volunteer to us because he hated to give any information whatsoever. I know it's unpopular. I kind of like McCarthy. And it makes you feel a little better when this morning I see some national guys that are getting caught up to something we've been talking about for a long, long time because they're watching the All-22 of all these NFL games, which includes watching the New York Giants play. So I want to read you a couple of tweets from a couple of my friends. One, at Josh Norris from Underdog Fantasy. He said, no piece of the Giants offense alleviates the stress or pressure of others. QB has blinders on when pressured, leading to sacks and fumbles. Play caller? Who's being put into position to win? And where's the creativity? O-line? Still struggling despite draft investments. Then my buddy Dan Orlovsky watched the Giants offense, and he said, God bless the Giants offense. It's just painful to watch scheme-wise. Number one, why are you doing the things you're doing and the way you are? Number two, where is the player given an advantage because of your scheme/call? Three, can we change the launch point of the QB to something other than behind the center? So those are national guys catching up to the idea that in a Jason Garrett offense, everyone has to win their individual matchup or you don't win. And then he says it was bad execution. Now, I know that's not about Mike McCarthy. That's more about Kellen Moore, who is a badass. And Kellen Moore may not have the podium presence like I do. You see this podium presence? Men, I'm going to lead you out there. Garrett actually kind of had that. But people around the league are talking about Kellen Moore. The offensive mind, the creativity, how good he is at what he does. If you're a McCarthy hater, I mean, you might have to elevate Kellen Moore after this year if you want to keep him around. That's assuming you continue to have a really good offensive year, which I think they will. Now, one more thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about with the Cowboys versus the Chargers. And it was asked in a number of different ways. Casey Stahl on Twitter, can we cover these guys better or worse than we covered the guys last week? Mildly I don't know if you've done it yet, but ideal corner versus wide receiver matchups for the Chargers game. Okay, so 2 ways you can go. And one, let's start with this off the top, where I like what Dan Quinn is doing better than what I've seen from the Cowboys defense over the last 5 million years already, because Trevon Diggs covered Mike Evans on 80% of snaps last week, which means Trevon Diggs was not just standing at right corner and never moving. He was following. So if you've already shown you're willing to do that, you have 2 options when the Cowboys go play the Chargers. Cowboys have one good cornerback on the team. His name is Trevon Diggs. So what do you want to do with him? Mike Evans was a good matchup for him. Big guy, physical. This week, you're going to play against 2 big guys. One is Keenan Allen, one of the best wide receivers in football. He's about 6'2", probably 210 pounds, and he's one of the best route runners in football. Incredibly creative route runner, technically sound, understands what he's doing, knows how to set people up, all those things, right? So you could follow him. But there's another guy on the Chargers offense that had a big week last week that I actually like the matchup even better for Diggs. And that's Mike Williams, who's 6'4", 6'5", 220, 230 pounds. Like, he's a giant, but he's not a premier route runner. I wouldn't even call him a good route runner. I could put Diggs on him and go full Bill Belichick here, where I just offer help all the time on Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's going to line up in the slot a bunch, so you could play man with some help inside, with some help over the top. You could bracket him, and you could see if I could use Trevon Diggs to take away your number 2, and then I can focus all my attention on your number 1. So you could do it either way. I actually think I'd like to see Diggs cover Mike Williams, and then you just throw everyone else at Keenan Allen. Because I'd rather Diggs cover the big, imposing physical presence than the big yet nifty route runner. Either way makes sense, and I wouldn't kill you for an opinion either way. But I think I would go Mike Williams with Trevon Diggs and let everybody else deal with everything else. Jake wants to know, will the Cowboys football this week? Yes, they will. And will they football good? I think they'll football at least okay. Drew wants to know, do we win Sunday? Yeah. Cowboys 30, Chargers 24 or 27. 30-27 Cowboys. And then other people were asking about if Terence Steele, TLC daddy, if Steele struggles early, will they make the change and move Zack Martin, or will they continue to let Bosa continue to sack Dak? We don't know for sure who's starting at right tackle yet. That's the takeaway today. Oh, there is one other news item. Mike McCarthy's making it sound like it is unlikely that Randy Gregory will be able to play this weekend. And that's tough. Either way, it was going to be tough going up against Rashawn Slater, the Chargers rookie left tackle. He is awesome. But McCarthy said that on average, when you have a guy that tests positive, it's taken about 10 days to be able to get your 2 negative tests back to be eligible to play. So the timeline doesn't look good for Gregory unless he has like the Wolverine ability of passing COVID tests because of his regenerative immune system powers. So we'll see, but doesn't seem likely. All right. Leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. Is there anything else I had today? No, just leave it in the comments. Let me know. And remember that you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everybody. I love you. Bye.